Hi guys, so I'm so sorry. This is well overdue, so I'm just going to go straight into this because this news is like 2 weeks old, but I have had absolutely no time, so I'm so sorry. I've seen it reported in a number of places, but this is obviously the Mirror, that Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have 6 demands before they are to confirm or before they are to attend the King's coronation. Now, the King's coronation is the 6th of May, so it is edging close. And as I understand, Harry and Meghan still haven't confirmed whether they are coming to the coronation. As I understand, they have been invited. I mean, they announced through a spokesperson that they've received an email from the King's office in relation to the coronation. And they said through their spokesperson that they're not going to comment on whether or not they're going to attend at this moment. Which, that first of all seems odd to me. Why on earth would you need to disclose that information through a spokesperson? I don't know what world they live in anymore, because they are disclosing through spokespersons, through People Magazine, through Omid Scobie, through whatever, little pieces of intimate information, private conversations, private correspondence, little sort of information about themselves. And, I know more about Meghan and Harry than I did when they were members of the royal family. I know more. I grew up in Great Britain, and I know more about Harry than I did my entire life. I know more about him since he has left the royal family than when he was in the royal family. So it just seems to be so bizarre that they want to protect their family, they want to protect their children, they want to protect their privacy, and they're taking all these newspapers to court for invasion of privacy, and they are leaking all this nonsense. So anyway, secondly, the fact that they have not even RSVP'd to this coronation is so feisty to me, is so, I don't even know, like I don't even have the words, because it's only a few weeks away. It's the 6th of May. It's your father's coronation. It is, you are Duke and Duchess. Your children are Prince and Princess. You are members of the royal family. You are the son of the king. How, you are a British prince. How are you just not going to RSVP to this event? There are people who probably received this invitation, and on the day, they were probably like, yes, yes, RSVP, quick, quick. And then yet you have this man who is so entitled, and his wife who is so like, I am just so special, that they believe that they can just RSVP 7 days in advance, 14 days in advance, 24 hours in advance, and they can just rock up to this coronation and go straight to the front row. And like, and the thing is they can. This is what is so ridiculous, is they don't seem to have consequences for their behavior. And I think that that is something that Harry has probably had his whole entire life, where he has probably had no consequences for his behavior. And Meghan has probably been quite spoiled, and so then you put them together and it's like, oh God. So, what is just ridiculous is they probably can just rock up and RSVP whenever they want to, because as I understand it, the palace are making arrangements for if they do attend, because obviously these things are planned months and months and months and months in advance. So obviously you're going to need, someone of Harry's status can't just turn up. So they have to make arrangements. They have to organize seating, security, accommodation, food, what events he's going to attend to, the timeline, the time frame, whatever, and the diaries and things. So I understand that the palace are making arrangements in the eventuality that he will attend, because it's obviously easier to make arrangements rather than not make them, and then he turns up and it's like, oh no. So they're making arrangements for them to come. So technically they can just come last minute because the arrangements are being made. I mean, it's so ridiculous. There's no consequences. Who are they to just leave the King of England, your father, to just wait? Like, oh yeah, I'll RSVP later. Oh, it's only my friend Maggie and her dinner party at her house of 4 people. Oh, I'll let her know after work later. This This is a massive state event. This is a historical, monumental event that some people only get to see one in their lifetime. The last time we had one was like 70 years ago. So anyway, the fact that they even have the audacity and like the dignity to just not even RSVP is something else. But there we go. But then they have the audacity and the lack of dignity to have demands of the king, demands. They have requests before they grace us with the privilege of their presence. Okay, firstly, I think somebody needs to tell them that it is not about them. It is not about you. It is not about you. It is not about whether you turn up or not. It's not about you. It's not about whether you're included or not. It's not about you. It's about your father and your stepmother ascending into a position of huge responsibility. It is about the people of the United Kingdom and the people of the Commonwealth having a new leader and figurehead, a new head of state. It also has religious and spiritual ramifications, you know, the anointing of the monarch. I mean, God's sake, for God's sake. I mean, it doesn't really shout reconciliation, does it? You know, he was like, oh, you know, I've tried to reconcile and they're not, you know, they're not game or whatever. And now the ball is in their court. You know, a lot can happen from now until the coronation. But this doesn't shout reconciliation, does it? I've thrown you under the bus. You know, I've left my duty. I've taken all the privilege. I've taken all the titles. I've abandoned my service. And now we're going to go and we're going to go to the glitz and glams of Hollywood. We're going to use the titles. We're going to expose all the family secrets. We're going to grass on everyone and we're going to complain about everything. And then even better yet, in this woke liberal generation, we're going to throw in the words of racism and mental health, and we're going to let those labels stick onto you guys and then, you know, jeopardize the Commonwealth and jeopardize the royal family, or for which we have titles and are gaining money through our association with. But let's tear it down at the same time. I mean, it's really weird. You know, let's bite the hand that feeds us. It's just really odd. And then better yet, let's pass it on to the next generation. Let's give our children prince and princess titles. You know, that family that I was trying to protect my children from and my wife from, that I had to escape because my wife was going to kill herself and kill her unborn child because it was just so horrible. And it's not a loving environment that my children and my wife could grow up in. And I've been in a fishbowl and I only just wanted to be a normal person. I never wanted to be a prince. I wanted to escape a long time ago. And here we go. Let's give my children these titles. It's so ridiculous and ludicrous. I just don't understand how people still support these guys. This has to be. I mean, I probably say this in every one of my interviews when something ludicrous comes out. I always say this has to be, you know, it has to be clear now that these guys are just hypocrites and they're just nonsense and what they're all about, which is themselves and advancing their own brand and their own riches and their own status. But I keep on saying that, and I feel like this is another example where those who support them so much have to see it for what it is. This is ridiculous. How does this breed reconciliation? Why do you even want to come to the coronation? If you're so above all this spectacle, why do you even want to come? You know, we know why you want to come. It's not about family. It's not about love. You don't know about family. You have so many broken relationships, particularly Meghan Markle, so many broken relationships within your own family. You know, you guys are just, it's all about yourself and your own happiness. And, you know, I have to do what's right for me and what brings me happiness. And it's my truth. You know, sometimes life doesn't work like that, okay? Sometimes you're in families where you don't like the other person, but at the end of the day, they're your family, okay? And this isn't what it's about. For you, it's not about the love of your father. It's not about coming to support your country and the love of your country and the love of the Commonwealth. I mean, you've already talked so negatively about the Commonwealth. So I just don't even know. You obviously want to come, you know, in my view, because you want to, you know, this is your your meal ticket, right? The royal family and your association to the royal family and your titles, and you're always using your titles. That is your meal ticket. That is what gives you a right of importance and status. That's what gives you the right to believe you can be in the room with powerful people, that you can sit at a table at the United Nations. What's that about? That's because you believe that you do have the right to do that because you are Duke and Duchess. And then if you take all that away, what you have. And so you have to come to these royal events because you are uniquely positioned where you can attend these events, and not many other people in America can, other than probably the President of the United States of America. And that's the point, isn't it? That you're of almost the same sort of status in your mind of the President of America. You're going to be sitting with or amongst the presidents and leaders and kings and queens of the world. You know, that's where you want to be. So you need that to show your audience in America that that is where you belong. That is your status. That is your level. That is how powerful you are. Therefore, the checks keep coming. So these 6 demands, I mean, I don't know if this is true, okay, because I don't believe everything I read, but I have seen it reported in more than one place. So, and also the fact that they haven't RSVP'd yet, or at least the fact that it's been reported that they haven't RSVP'd yet, seems a bit odd to me. So perhaps there are conditions or demands that they want in place. So obviously this article talks about the coronation that's coming up and saying that the demands are causing people at the palace major headaches. That's not necessarily members of the royal family, okay, because they obviously have staff that work for them. And so it may be, in fact, the members of the staff, the courtiers, etc., etc. It may be. So I've also read somewhere else that these demands are just causing a lot of chaos. So we go into the article, and it says that obviously the children, so Lily and Archie, have not been invited because they're very, very young. And an insider has told OK that a major sticking point was how the Sussex children, Archie 3 and 1-year-old Lilibet, were to be included in the day. So that's one of the demands, is for them to be included in the day. But the source explained that their inclusion in the ceremony has never been a bone of contention because small children don't attend royal events of this scale due to restlessness and tantrums. And then you see there that Dr. Tessa Dunlop says it would be odd if Archie was not invited. She refers to the Queen's coronation in 1953, where Prince Charles was in attendance and he was only 4. And then she says Archie on his 4th birthday is definitely not too young to attend the coronation. If you want Meghan there, you need to invite her son. Okay, look, I get it, right, from their point of view. But I only get it from their point of view if they want to have a role in the royal family, if they have escaped on a freedom flight to get their way out of here, like they're escaping some sort of apartheid in such a horrible country where they don't even feel safe. You know, Meghan doesn't even feel safe to even enter this country. Then I don't understand what they're doing. You know, when it's, well, you have to invite Archie if you expect Meghan to be there. Well, don't come then. Don't come. We're perfectly happy for you not to not be there. Don't come if you don't want to support what's going on. If you don't support the survival of the royal family, if you don't support the royal family, if you don't support our country, if you don't support these traditions and this culture, if you don't support what is going on, then don't be here. If you are happy somewhere else, then great. You shouldn't be forced into doing this. But then also, you shouldn't make all these demands like you're someone, like you're so significant and important. If you want me there, then I want this. No. You can stay away. It's perfectly fine. Okay, it's perfectly fine. We will survive without you. The royal family will survive without you. It's okay. You know, if this was a couple that constantly praise the royal family and want to be included and want to be invited, and they're constantly getting snubbed, then I can understand these demands. But they're just not. They want to be included in specific things that are historical and rare, like the Jubilee, like, you know, the coronation. But they don't want to do the service. They don't want the responsibility. They don't want the sacrifice. You know, they don't want, as soon as it gets hard, they're gone. And then they take all the benefits with them, and they're living this fairy tale, this royal family version #2 in Montecito, California. And then they want to come back and forth to these like magnificent historical events, you know, where they're maybe robed in their Duke and Duchess robes and their little Duke and Duchess crown, and, you know, their kids in their little Duke and Duchess robes, and Meghan in a tiara. And excuse me, no, you don't get to take part in all of this majesty and all of these traditions that we have had for 1,000 years. When you disparage our country, you disparage our traditions, you disparage our protocols, you know, so I just, no. You disparage our royal family. So no, I think you need to just stick in a lane, choose a lane and stick there. If you want to be this rebel princess, you know, down to earth, I'm in my ripped jeans and my, you know, bare feet, and I'm just so normal, and I want my children to have a private life, and I want a private life, and I want a normal life, then do that. But stop taking advantage. So the only thing I'll say about Dr. Tessa Dunlop's remarks is that, one, Prince Charles was there, but he is the son of the Queen and the heir to the throne. And like you said, he was 4. Archie will be turning 4. And Archie, you know, he is not around the royal family. He's not around the institution and the customs and the traditions. So what is he going to do there? You know, how is he going to take it on board? Has he ever been to anything like that? It's going to be so overwhelming and so alien for him. It's really not necessary for him to be there. Prince Charles was a part of the royal family, on the balcony, on the this and the that, in Buckingham Palace, living in Buckingham Palace with his mom, and he was the heir to the throne. He was the Queen's son. Archie is not Prince Charles's son. Archie is a grandchild. And Princess Anne, who is the Queen's daughter and the only daughter, wasn't there because she was too young. And all of this, if you expect Meghan to turn up, then you need to invite her son. No, we don't care. So moving on. So another big issue for the Sussexes is obviously that the coronation is on May the 6th, which is Archie's birthday. Fully get it. Archie's 4th birthday. So they have concerns about being away from their son on this special day. I get that. But it's reported here that it's believed that Harry and Meghan are keen to attend the coronation, as it is a key milestone for the family. Excuse me? Which family? Your own family or the royal family? They're keen to attend because it's a key milestone for the family. Oh, honestly, I could talk for hours and hours and hours about everything that is wrong with these guys. What is wrong with you? Do you understand the concept of family, or do you not? Because on one hand, you can't publicly throw your family down the river consistently for 3 years and not stop, and then exchange that for cash. Or on the other hand, you know, family is about love, unconditional love, trust, forgiveness. You know, I don't know. I do not know. How? I don't know. But they would like some recognition of their son's celebration. Now, look, I understand that. But no, okay, you can do that privately, like it was the Queen's Jubilee weekend, and privately you released a photograph. I say privately, but on Instagram, meaning, you know, they did themselves. They released a photo of Lilibet. And, you know, happy birthday, and then people saying happy birthday on their Instagrams and whatnot. I get that. That's fine. But I really don't believe that Prince Charles should do some sort of, bring out a birthday cake on the balcony and some big banner, happy birthday, Archie, on like the balcony of Buckingham Palace so you can put it on the front page of People magazine. I don't think so. It doesn't work like that. Okay, that's his grandson. It's not his son. It's not him. The coronation is about him. It's about the royal family. It's about the preservation and the survival of the royal family. It's about our country celebrating our new head of state. It's about the Commonwealth celebrating. It's not about Archie. Yes, he was born on May the 6th, but so were a million other people that were born on May the 6th. Yet you don't bring Archie over to the UK to spend his birthday with his grandfather every single year. The royal family don't celebrate Archie's birthday in Buckingham Palace every single year. If it was like a tradition, I might have some sympathy. The fact that he's all the way over in Montecito, and I don't know what you do, whether you do some video call, whether you don't call, I don't know what you do. This guy is not growing up with the royal family or in the royal fold. So I don't understand. And the sense of importance that you want a recognition at the king's coronation of your son's birthday is hilarious to me. I wonder how many people in the coronation congregation have a birthday on May the 6th. He should just be like, right, everyone put their hands up. Who's got a birthday today? It's so ridiculous. Do you understand what the royal family are about? Okay, it's about the image that they have to portray because they represent us. They have to present themselves as the idealistic family. They have to present themselves in a very professional, in a very majestic way because they are our face to the world. And when you get into all this nonsense, birthday recognition, and you take their dirty laundry out of the basket and you air it up in front of everyone, in front of the world, it breaks down that majesty, that mystery. It breaks down their image of leadership and the idealistic family that represents Britishness and represents the Commonwealth. It breaks that all down. And when you keep on breaking it down, it will no longer exist. And if it no longer exists, then who are you, Prince Harry? Who are you? What are you going to do, Meghan Markle, Duchess of... What are you going to do? So Archie's birthday falls on May the 6th, Coronation Day. The Sussexes want the family to recognise that. The Sussexes have asked for some kind of celebration or acknowledgement to be factored into the day's plans to ensure that his 4th birthday won't get lost during the momentous day. Who cares if it does? You can't go home in the evening and celebrate his birthday. You can't wake up in the morning and celebrate his birthday. You can't celebrate his birthday the day before, the day after. Really? It's not about you. Let's say, for example, Meghan Markle had a sister that she was close to. And let's say, for example, it was that sister's wedding day. Is she really going to insist that that bride do something for Archie's birthday? Or is she just going to be like, well, it's my sister's wedding and we're going to have to just celebrate his birthday another time? It's such nonsense. And there are reportedly fears that Meghan and Harry may upstage Charles by posting messages about their son before the coronation takes place. To be honest, in my opinion, the games that they play with the media and all this PR business and all this planting, I think that regardless of whether they go, whether they stay at home, whether Harry comes and Meghan stays, whether the children are there or not, whether they acknowledge Archie's birthday or not, I can predict, and I am pretty sure that they are going to do something. There is going to be some announcement in the press. There's going to be an Archie photo. There's going to be some leakage of this story, that story. Harry's uniform, Meghan tiara. Harry's not allowed to do this. Meghan's not allowed to do that. This demand, that demand. It's just going to be so overshadowed. Just like when it was the Queen's funeral, there were so many articles about Meghan and Harry. And whether they're going to be included in this, and whether Harry's going to attend or wear his uniform, and the walkabout. I honestly think that there's going to be so many headlines about Harry and Meghan during the coronation. And frankly, I think the media should do the king a favour. And the media should all come together and they should say, you know what, we're not going to report about Harry and Meghan at all. and it's just going to be about the king. And then they can do what they want the next day. But they should all get together and make a pact and be like, right, this day is going to be focused on the king, because I honestly predict that there's going to be so many articles coming from Omid Scobie, People Magazine, this and that, all these other news articles and their spokesman and all these other news articles that are going to be posting loads of stories, you know, about the royal family and conversations and snubs and this and that. Not looking forward to that. And then another demand is that Harry will only come if he gets a face-to-face meeting with his father and his brother. Well, you can just forget that. I mean, why would they do that? How can they trust you? Everything you've leaked through reporters and the book Spare and, you know, the Netflix documentary, why would they talk to you? How can they trust you? You know, communication should just go through their staff, to be honest, because this guy is out of control. Like, I think he is out of control. You know, in my opinion, it's like he is so righteous and he's not in the right frame of mind. In my view, he's at this position where he's so righteous, where he is right. His wife is extra right and everybody else is wrong. So whatever they come up with, they're going to be hitting a wall. So there's going to be no compromise. There's going to be no conversation. It's going to be Harry's way or no way. And then when he doesn't get his way, he's victimized, you know? And I can imagine Charles and Prince William just being like, oh my God, like, and then just there'll be another article or another book or another documentary about how victimized he is and how horrible his family are. And I can just imagine them too, like King Charles and Prince William just turning around being like, oh my God, and like literally rubbing their head, just being like, I really can't deal with this, not again. So what's the point? What's the point in a face-to-face meeting? I mean, Harry's never going to apologize. Meghan's never going to apologize. Can you imagine that? I'd love to see the day. And so it's reported here that Harry has been very clear that his position hasn't wavered. He isn't going to come if he feels the atmosphere will be toxic, as it was during the Queen's Platinum Jubilee and funeral. He said he wants to reconcile with his family and it's their call, but so far nothing has changed. I mean, are you surprised? Are you surprised? If I cussed loads of people out and alleged that they were racist, and then I turned up at a family event, would I be surprised that it was a bit of a toxic environment? I don't there's no accountability, is there? It's really odd, really, really odd. You know, even if you are right and everything you say is right and they are bad people, the fact that I've exposed them to the world and I've got countries from the Commonwealth wanting to leave because they're allegations of racism. I mean, I would still not be surprised that I would turn up to a family event and people would be frosty. I mean, and you say it's a toxic environment. I mean, you're not really saying at any point it was a positive. When have you said it to be a positive environment? So it was toxic during the Queen's Jubilee and the funeral. Okay, when was it positive? When have you ever said that, oh, it's just so, my family are just great? Although actually you did in the engagement interview, didn't you? Anyway, so then apparently here it says, a source claims the Sussexes are asking palace aides to include them in the balcony with the rest of the family once the king has been crowned, to wave to the crowds. Once the king has been crowned, there will be a coronation procession that will start at Westminster Abbey and end at Buckingham Palace. Once the procession reaches the palace, the king will take to the balcony and wave to the crowds with the rest of the royal family members and their children. This is where Harry and Meghan have requested inclusion. I mean, if I wasn't so frustrated, I would burst out laughing. And I wish I was one of those people that could just bell up laughing. Because everything about that is so wrong. Do they want their kids there as well? Do they want their kids on the Buckingham Palace balcony waving at the crowds? And the kids have never experienced anything like that. And also, you didn't want them involved in this type of life. And you didn't want you to be involved in this life. And you didn't want your wife to be involved in this life. And you had to escape for your freedom. I don't understand what is happening. You're taking 2 steps forward and you're coming 5 steps back. Do you hear yourselves? I mean, if this is true, then this is a whole load of crap. And you guys are the biggest hypocrites I've ever come across. You want your cake and you want to eat it too. You want every benefit under the sun, but you don't want responsibility. You're talking about birthright of your children. Well, where's the service? Where's the responsibility? Where's the duty? Ugh, Anyway, guys, I could talk for ages about each one of these demands. And, you know, I don't know if this is true. As I've said, I've seen it reported in other places. But if it is true, like, wow, what hypocrites. I really, really hope that the king does not bend to any of these demands, because they all seem absolutely ridiculous. And they all have no purpose for Harry and Meghan and their family, because they don't want to be working members of the royal family. He has said that he doesn't see any future role for his family in the royal family. So what is this for then? What is this for other than publicity and money? What is this for? You know, you want to go down in history. You want that photo of your family and your wife and you on the balcony with the king that lasts centuries. You know, that photograph. No. Why should you? Just do us a favor and just don't come, okay? You just do what you want to do there, with your avocados on the beach in sunny California, you know, in the garden, having a birthday party with no shoes, and just let us just do what we do. Let us have the pageantry, the history, the spectacle. Let us have, you know, the hierarchy in the royal family. Let us have that, okay? We will have that, and then you guys can go and live the life, the home that you've always wanted, the family life that you've always dreamed of. Okay, go and have it. Good luck. Good luck to you. Okay, guys, well, I'm going to leave it there. So please do subscribe to my channel. Don't forget. Help me to get to 1,000 subscribers. And feel free to comment on the video to let me know your thoughts on these demands. You know, should King Charles bend to any of these demands? Do you find any of these demands reasonable? If your comments are interesting, I would love to use them in my next video. Okay, guys, take care. Bye.